Alicia.
Jared, welcome to Vibrations and Manifestations. And today, we're getting into something really core, I think, for anyone on a path of conscious growth.
Yeah, it's that question. How do you hold on to your personal alignment, that inner peace, especially when you're bumping up against, different energies or viewpoints?
Those everyday moments when your own calm sort of meets the world's static, maybe.
It's a good way to put it. Static. It really resonates.
It's that feeling, isn't it? Wanting to keep your own frequency steady when everything around you feels like it's on a totally different channel.
It can feel like swimming upstream, even when you know you're heading in the right direction for you.
Exactly. And this whole deep dive, it was sparked by a really insightful message we got.
Right, from Kirsten over in New Zealand. She's 25, and she mentioned she's been really focused for a few years now on things like the law of vibration.
Which is that core idea that, attracts, energetically.
Yeah, and the path of least resistance, basically, following what feels better, what flows.
And she's really dedicating herself now to connecting consistently with her higher self. Daily practices, the whole thing.
And just to clarify, when we say higher self, we mean that deeper, wiser, intuitive part of you, your most authentic self.
And that commitment, that takes real intention, real courage, actually.
It does. It's one thing to read about it, another to live it day to day.
Totally. She's really walking the walk. It's quite inspiring.
It really is. So Kirsten's question, the one that got us thinking, was basically this. How do I stay aligned in the moment?
Especially, she said, when she's talking to someone who's just not on the same wavelength.
Right. And she mentioned being non-confrontational, maybe having some history with people-pleasing.
Which so many of us can relate to.
Absolutely. And feeling that frustration when others don't seem to have the same, patience or clarity she's cultivating.
So she asked straight up, is it even worth it trying to get your point across? Or is it better to just step away?
It's such a real dilemma, isn't it? Balancing connecting with others and protecting your own inner space.
That tension is key. And what's great is she's not asking how to change them.
No, exactly.
She's asking how she can stay centered, stay true to herself, even when there's that contrast. How to keep her vibrational integrity, that steady state of peace.
So that's our mission today. We want to unpack that tension.
Look at what it really means to stay centered when things get bumpy.
And offer some, hopefully, practical ways to navigate it without losing your footing, vibrationally speaking.
Because ultimately, your path, your peace, it doesn't need anyone else's stamp of approval.
That feeling of alignment inside you. That's the proof. That's more real than any external agreement. You are your own evidence.
Well said.
Okay, so let's dive into the core here.
How do you maintain your own, inner peace, your clarity, when maybe the world around you or even people you really love seem to be operating on a completely different wavelength?
Yeah. It's all about holding your center, isn't it?
Yeah.
When those external energies are just pulling in what feels like 1,000 different directions.
Exactly.
And, this deep dive is really for anyone who's ever felt that sort of subtle tension. Maybe when your spiritual path, or even just trying to stay calm, kind of bumps up against someone else's frustration.
Oh, yeah.
Or just a moment of discord. Like picture being at a family dinner, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a loved one starts going off on a tangent that just completely grates against your peace.
Been there.
How do you stay calm in that specific moment? That's what we're exploring. How to stay true to your inner alignment, that connection to yourself, without getting confrontational.
Right. Without feeling like you have to explain yourself just one more time.
Exactly that feeling. Shedding that people-pleasing tendency.
Okay, so what does this really mean for you, our listener, especially when you find yourself caught right in the middle of one of those moments?
Well, we're going to unpack the nature of contrast itself, those moments of difference.
And why getting defensive can actually maybe counterintuitively disempower you.
Right. And then, crucially, we'll give you some powerful, soul-grounded practices to help you hold your own frequency, your own energy.
Yeah, because this isn't about trying to change anyone else, is it?
Not at all. It's about changing your experience of the moment.
Okay, let's unpack this. Where do we start?
Let's start by maybe reframing something we often label as conflict.
Okay.
What we've consistently seen, and what feels true, is that contrast isn't necessarily conflict. It's actually more like a compass.
A compass? How so?
Well, it's those moments that kind of highlight what you don't want or what doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And by showing you that...
it helps you clarify what you do want.
Precisely. And when we talk about alignment, that's what we mean being in sync with that inner clarity, with your true desires, your values. Contrast helps you find that alignment.
That's a really powerful shift because normally, friction or disagreement,
Yeah.
we instinctively avoid it, right? You're saying it can actually be a good thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. Differences in perspectives, opinions, even desires. They aren't just things to tolerate. They can be genuinely beneficial.
How?
Without that variance, that difference, how could new ideas really be born? In relationships, for instance, these differences are often what help you produce new clarity about your own preferences.
That makes sense.
We've even observed that if a relationship becomes too compatible, too aligned on every single little idea,
It gets boring.
it risks boredom, yeah? And it loses its potential for expansion, for growth.
Yeah.
You kind of need that dynamic interplay for things to feel vibrant and keep expanding.
Wow, okay. So we often strive for perfect agreement, but maybe the real richness is in, well, embracing the differences.
It seems that way.
But, okay, if contrast is so beneficial, why does it often feel so uncomfortable? Why do we get defensive? Like, back to that family dinner scenario. Why does Aunt Carol's rant immediately put us on edge?
Yeah, that's the core of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because most people, when they encounter a difference in opinion, especially from someone close,
Yeah, someone you care about.
right, the instinct is often to become defensive. It's a very natural human reaction, almost like a leftover from, primal fight or flight.
Okay, fight or flight. And what happens, energetically speaking, when you go into that defensive mode?
Well, you immediately lose your connection with your own clarity, with what we sometimes call your source, that inner wellspring of peace and wisdom.
You're cut off.
You're no longer in receiving mode, let's say,
Uh-huh.
and trying to, fight fire with fire, pushing against someone.
Mm.
It actually means you step outside of your true power.
Explain that a bit more, stepping out of your power.
When you're genuinely connected to your source, aligned within yourself, you don't feel that need to threaten or bully or even aggressively convince anyone.
Right.
We often see that people who resort to stronger, maybe more belligerent words, they aren't actually operating from a place of power. It's almost like they unconsciously know they've stepped out of their energy zone, their leverage zone.
So the loudness isn't strength, it's a sign of disconnection.
Often, yes, it's a sign they're feeling powerless in that moment.
Okay, so this raises a really important question then. If getting defensive actually disempowers us, what's the alternative? How do we respond?
The core insight here, and it's a big one, is that no one else is truly a threat to your inner peace except your own split energy.
Split energy, meaning?
Meaning when your own thoughts or actions are out of sync with your true desires, with your alignment, when you are internally conflicted. External differences, other people's opinions or moods, they're essentially just irritations.
Irritations that show us where we might be out of alignment.
Exactly, they're feedback.
Okay, let's bring this back to that tricky family dinner. So you're there, someone else is clearly out of alignment. Maybe they're being snarky or critical, as you said. What does this look like in practice?
The key is this. If you are solidly in your alignment, really tuned into your own inner peace, you genuinely won't feel defensive. You won't take their comments personally.
Easier said than done sometimes, but okay.
It takes practice. But from that aligned place, you'll simply understand, maybe with compassion, that they are the ones struggling, that they could use a little talking off the ledge, as it were. They're feeling disconnected themselves.
So you see their behavior as a reflection of their inner state, not an attack on you.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is the idea that when someone is out of alignment, they are, in a sense, fighting their own vortex.
Fighting their own vortex.
Yeah.
Swimming upstream.
Yeah, imagine their life, their desires, as a river flowing smoothly. When they're out of alignment, maybe complaining, blaming, feeling victimized, they're paddling furiously upstream against their own current. They're creating their own inner conflict.
Got it. So my role isn't to jump in the water and paddle against them or try to grab their paddle.
No, your role isn't to fix them or even necessarily get them to see your perspective right then and there. It's simply to hold steady. Hold steady with your own vision, your own alignment.
Be the calm in the storm, so to speak.
Kind of. And when you are, as we sometimes say, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, with your inner being just fully embodying your authentic, peaceful self, you become incredibly persuasive.
Persuasive how? Not like arguing better.
No, not manipulative persuasion. It's more like your embodied energy, your calm clarity becomes influential. Others might naturally soften their stance or feel drawn to a more harmonious interaction, even if they don't consciously know why.
Because your vibration is setting a different tone.
Exactly. And it truly only takes one whole person, meaning someone who is aligned and present you, to create a better opportunity for harmony in any interaction.
That's really empowering. It puts the focus back on me, on my own state, rather than trying to control what other people are doing or saying.
That's the shift.
So, okay, this isn't just abstract theory. We need real-time navigation tools. What do you actually do when your calm, steady energy meets someone else's, frustration or chaos?
Right, practical steps. And it's easy to dismiss these as just spiritual ideas, but what's fascinating is how even neuroscience kind of backs this up.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, think about confrontation. It often triggers what neuroscientists call an amygdala hijack.
The fight or flight center in the brain?
Exactly. It kicks you into that reactive mode. So choosing not to engage defensively, choosing to stay centered, it isn't weakness. It's actually like a nervous system flex.
A nervous system flex. I like that.
Yeah, you're preventing your brain from being hijacked by those primal responses. You're keeping your higher thinking online, allowing for clearer thought, more effective responses.
So staying peaceful isn't passive, it's active self-regulation.
Absolutely. And peace, in this context, is actually productivity for vibrational beings. Meaning when you're in that state of peace and alignment, you're much better positioned to attract solutions, opportunities, positive interactions, rather than spinning your wheels in conflict energy.
Okay, so it's not just about feeling good, it's about being more effective in life.
They go hand in hand.
So let's get concrete. What are some tools for those challenging moments?
Okay, first up, try an inner weather report.
Inner weather report, okay.
Before you react or respond, just pause internally. Ask yourself, is this conversation feeling cloudy inside me, stormy? Or is it clear? Am I actually being called to express something here? Or is this maybe an opportunity to just align inwardly and listen?
So checking in with myself first. Got it.
Then there's something you can call segment realignment.
Segment realignment.
Yeah, think of your day in segments or even moment to moment. This is a quick reset you can do anytime. Just a conscious breath, a brief pause, and maybe a quick visualization of choosing the next energetic frequency you want to embody. Like hitting a mental reset button to get back on track, to choose how you want to feel now.
I like that. A quick reset? What about when it's really intense?
For those really intense moments, try the 3-second sovereignty reset.
Okay, 3 seconds. Tell me.
Literally, just pause for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Take one deep conscious breath before you respond.
Just breathe.
Just breathe. And in that tiny pause, ask yourself internally, will saying this or reacting this way bring me closer to peace, or will it pull me deeper into resistance?
Ah, that question is key, like an inner compass.
Exactly. It ensures you speak, if you choose to speak, from your center, not from your trigger.
Yeah.
So if Aunt Carol just made that passive-aggressive comment, that 3 seconds gives you space. Do I fuel this fire, or do I stay centered? Only one path leads back to your clarity.
That's very practical. Okay, what about after the interaction? Sometimes that energy lingers.
Great point. If you still feel some residue later, journaling can be really helpful. Try asking yourself some questions.
Like what?
Maybe. What would my higher self, my wiser self, say about this situation? Or what part of me felt like it needed to be seen or heard in that moment?
Digging a bit deeper.
Yeah. Or you could ask, what belief about myself did that moment reflect back to me? Or even, what did I learn about my own growth curve here?
So it's not about stewing on it.
No, definitely not ruminating or replaying it endlessly. It's about conscious realignment, extracting the wisdom, learning the lesson, and letting the rest go.
Okay. And maybe something to carry with us, like a reminder.
Absolutely. A powerful affirmation or mantra can be incredibly grounding. Try this one. I don't need everyone to understand me to be at peace with myself.
Ooh, I like that. I don't need everyone to understand me to be at peace with myself.
Or even simpler, maybe more direct. I get to feel good, even if you don't get it.
I get to feel good, even if you don't get it.
Yeah, that really untangles that energetic need for external validation, doesn't it?
It does. It creates a kind of energetic boundary that protects your peace.
So tying this all together then, what's the bigger picture here? Why all this contrast in the first place?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, a foundational principle we see again and again is that problems and solutions, or maybe better put, challenges and desires, are the fundamental equation for expansion.
The equation for expansion.
Life is constantly presenting contrast because, in many ways, contrast is the answer to a request for expansion that you yourself have put out there, consciously or unconsciously. Every challenge is basically an invitation to grow, to clarify, to become more.
So the contrast isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that growth is happening.
Often, yes, it's fuel for your becoming.
Which means that satisfaction.
Yeah.
It doesn't just come from achieving the goal or closing the gap completely. Satisfaction often comes from the movement toward a new desire, from being on that journey. You don't have to get it all done to feel satisfied. The joy really is in the process, in the journey of becoming.
That takes the pressure off.
It should. And it also highlights a really important point about conflict resolution. When you're in the middle of a conflict, if you are out of alignment, feeling defensive, angry, victimized, you actually can't find the true solution from that state.
Why not?
Because from that misaligned place, you'll just dig deeper into the problem. You'll attract more evidence for why you're right to be upset. The actual solution, the path forward, only really emerges when you return to your centered, aligned state first.
It's like trying to navigate a ship in a storm with a broken compass.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
You got to recalibrate your inner compass, your alignment first. Then you can see the way forward.
Okay. This was like a good place to maybe integrate this feeling.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
To help you really anchor this feeling, these principles, let's try a quick visualization together. So if it feels safe and comfortable for you right now, go ahead and gently close your eyes. Just allow yourself to take a slow, steady breath in through your nose and exhale gently, maybe through your mouth. Just letting any tension start to melt away. Let the noise of the world just pause for a moment.
Okay.
Let your body know, we are safe right now. This is your moment. Now, in your mind's eye, just picture a room. It could be any room at all. Real or imaginary, doesn't matter. Just get a sense of it. Maybe feel the air in the room, notice any colors, any textures, and imagine now that you walk into this room and the lights are kind of flickering. There's a feeling of confusion, maybe some static in the air, perhaps even loud voices representing different opinions, projections, just noise.
Yeah, that feeling of discord.
Exactly. It feels disjointed, like everyone's tuned to a different radio station, creating this kind of energetic chaos.
Okay. I can picture that. Now what?
Now just take another breath and remember who you are beneath all that external noise. Remember that core of peace that exists within you. And then reach for the light switch. But not a physical switch on the wall of that imagined room.
Yeah.
Reach for the light switch inside you.
Inside me.
Yeah, visualize it maybe in the center of your chest, glowing softly. Your heart can be the dimmer switch. Your breath is the power source.
Okay.
Now press it. Turn it on. And just feel, in an instant, how you become the light in that room. Not to fix anyone else, not to prove a point, just to be the light. Feel yourself becoming warm, steady, calm, clear. Your presence, your light, just expands gently. It's a glow that doesn't need to dominate, it simply exists. A steady, unwavering beacon. Just notice how the flickering in the room might slow down. How the static seems to fade. Maybe the voices soften. Not because you forced them to change, right?
Yeah.
But simply because your peace, your clarity, became the dominant frequency in the space. And even if some contrast still lingers around the edges, notice that you are no longer trying to match it or fight against it. You're just transmitting clarity. Maybe a little smile, a sense of ease wash over you. You didn't have to defend yourself. You didn't have to explain. You didn't have to carry anyone else's energy. You simply became the light in the room. And that was more than enough.
That was enough.
Breathe into that feeling for another moment. That feeling of steadiness, of sovereignty over your own inner state. And then, whenever you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Just remember, that feeling, that frequency of being the light, it's always available to you. Always. You don't have to earn it. You just have to remember it.
Because you are the light in the room.
Exactly. And that is always, always more than enough.
Wow. That was, yeah,
It really gets to the core, doesn't it?
it really does. We really hope this conversation has given you, our listener, some powerful new ways to think about and maybe more importantly, engage with contrast when it shows up in your life.
And just remember, your spiritual peace, your inner calm It truly doesn't depend on other people understanding it or agreeing with you.
That's such a crucial reminder.
Yeah. If someone doesn't quite get your vibe or your path,
Mm.
that's perfectly okay.
Mm.
Really, you weren't sent here to convince everybody.
You were sent here to glow.
You were sent here to glow. Love that. Glow your brightest.
And thank you again, Kirsten, for asking the question that sparked this whole deep dive. Such a great reminder, isn't it? We're not really here to make everyone understand us. We're here to understand ourselves, to know our own light.
Yeah. So as we wrap up, maybe a final thought to mull over.
Please.
We often find that true satisfaction, deep fulfillment, it only really comes when you're moving towards something you desire. And this whole cycle of contrast, the problems popping up and then finding solutions, the questions leading to answers, that's actually the fundamental equation for expansion, for growth.
Yeah.
So what if embracing that contrast, seeing it as part of the process rather than something to just avoid, what if that is the ultimate path? The path to continuous growth and ultimately profound satisfaction.
Embracing it, not just enduring it. That's something to sit with.
Definitely.
So maybe reflect on a time you did choose peace over proving a point. How did that feel? And keep exploring this journey of aligning with yourself.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear any insights you have. And of course, for more deep dives into powerful concepts like this one, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen.
We'll see you next time
See you then.
on Vibrations and Manifestations.